Hello, everybody. I'm Beattie. We've traveled all over the United States from one ski resort to the other, but now we're in Kitzbühel, Austria, and we're going to show you what people do when they really want to have fun. Stay with us. Today, a U.S. ski team downhill star judged the Miss Universe pageant, and he married one of the contestants. Also, we'll find out how this daredevil earned his name, Sick Rick, and the hottest rage to hit the mountains since the invention of the chairlift. It's not too late to learn how. All of this and more coming up today on Toyota Ski World.
Join Bob Beattie as he travels the world of skiing each week on ESPN. From the top resorts in the U.S. to the best in Europe, it's skiing's television magazine show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Toyota Ski World. I'm in Kitzbühel, Austria, and this happens once a year. It's total insanity. It's the weekend of the Hahnenkamm downhill ski race. I've never seen anything like it. I've been coming here for 33 years right now, and it is always exactly the same. Let's take a little look around, see what you think. An hour and a half from Salzburg, 2 hours from Munich, lies a place a lot of folks call Austria's premier skiing destination. A place where pleasant cruising runs overlook enchanting scenery and medieval history meets romantic charm. Welcome to Kitzbühel, Austria, a picture-perfect sleepy village most of the time. Unless you happen to be here for one particular week each year.
I love it. I love it. It's wonderful. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a great time.
These people have an excuse to party, an excuse called the Hahnenkamm. Every year, world-class skiers gather to tackle the infamous downhill course, the toughest on the international racing circuit, the Super Bowl of downhill ski racing. And spectators come in hordes from all over.
I'm from Massachusetts, from Cape Cod. Hi, everyone in the land ho.
Folks come for all sorts of reasons.
I like the people, so they are really relaxed, and there are a lot of families, also a lot of families here, so it's not so superficial.
People come to eat and to drink, to dance and to sing. What else draws folks to the Hahnenkamm?
Sonnenschein and Pulversteg. Sunshine and powder snow.
The food, the rain.
And the men.
Ah, yes, the men.
It's great here. I like it all. Really, I was here the first time last year, and I think that I will be here each year in the future because it's great.
So next year, grab your cowbells, a favorite hat, and your dancing shoes, and come join the party. To best understand Kitzbühel, think of the following. When it comes to the atmosphere, this is a step back in time. The old buildings have been preserved. You don't find high-rise buildings here. Skiing started over 100 years ago. Even people who don't ski will be comfortable here. And in fact, many come to enjoy the mountains away from the smog-filled European cities. Although skiing is plentiful, the lift structure does not feature the high-speed ones you'll find in the United States. This is Kitzbühel's major drawback. There is nothing like colorful Kitzbühel, and when we come back, we'll look at the challenge which has made it the most famous stop in international ski racing. Stay with us.
ESPN's Toyota Ski World is being brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. By Sprint, the official telecommunication sponsor of the U.S. ski team. And by Diet Coke, just for the taste of it.
It will reshape attitudes and turn heads. It is smart. It's about style, inside and out. It's about safety, like dual airbags and meeting 1997 side impact standards today. It's about choice, 2 doors or 4 doors. These are the times. This is the car. It's the all-new Tercel from Toyota.
I'll tell you, Eddie, life begins when you sit at the big table.
Tell me about it.
And it's always the same. Diet Coke, fancy food. Diet Coke, fun. Diet Coke, women.
Yeah.
world's their oyster and they don't even know it.
The next dance belongs to me, little man.
They know it, Bobby. Boy, do they know it.
How much do you pay for a minute of long distance?
75 cents? 79 cents?
80 cents a minute.
I don't really know.
Well, now Sprint introduces a whole new way to save on long distance. Every evening and all weekend long, a minute is just 10 cents. It's that simple.
For 10 cents, huh?
Piece of candy.
Cheaper than sending a postcard.
10 cents a minute. I wonder why no one ever thought of that before.
Call now for 10 cents a minute and get up to 100 minutes free.
If you and your wife are off to beautiful Kauai, Visa Gold's purchase power can pay for every romantic moment.
Hi, honey. Finally came down.
Not to mention a new pair of glasses.
I wanted to tell you how much I'm enjoying this second honeymoon. And that I love you.
Thank you.
Because Jenkins Optical can make new glasses in an hour, but they won't take American Express.
Who's that?
Visa Gold.
I've never seen him before in my life.
Welcome back to Kitzbühel, Austria. AJ Kitt from Rochester, New York, is a leading racer on the World Cup downhill circuit. He finished second in the toughest downhill of all in 1992. Then in the spring of 1993, he judged the Miss Universe pageant in Mexico and met Miss Canada. They were married last spring and now live in Boulder, Colorado. It's this week's Visa Presents the U.S. ski team. Things have changed in a year, AJ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I finally got married. That's one thing that's changed.
How do you think that'll affect your skiing?
I think it's going to have a real positive effect. My life at home is much more settled down and much more regimented. In a way, I've sort of redirected my approach to ski racing, or at least my psychological approach to it. I still want to win. I still want to go as fast as I possibly can, but I have to take into consideration Nancy, and so I think I have to go at it a little less recklessly. So in turn, I've made myself a better ski racer. I've worked on my technique a lot, and I think I'm a better ski racer for it. So in that way, Nancy's had a really positive effect on me.
How did you meet AJ?
I hate this story because it doesn't sound very good. I met him at the Miss Universe pageant. He was my judge, but I did not meet him until after.
Did he vote for you?
Yeah. I keep asking him that, but he doesn't tell me. Of course he voted for me. Yeah. But I didn't meet him until after the pageant was over. So I just want to get that straight right now.
Do you worry a little bit about him, banging down these downhills?
I think when I was ignorant of the sport, I was a little bit worried, but now I just want him to go fast, so I don't worry about him at all. I've seen him recover from some amazing almost falls, so I have all the trust in the world in him. AJ's an incredible athlete. I think that you have to be so versatile to ski race because it's strength and it's flexibility and it's just confidence and determination, and I really respect it a lot.
It must be a little difficult, but waiting down at the bottom of the mountain, and here he comes.
Because you can't help. Because you can't help. You want to help him. But his mom and I were really crazy. We'll be the wild ones at the bottom of the hill. We're the ones screaming really loud. And we'll both be in Kitzbühel. So that ought to be really interesting, too.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, guys.
Hey!
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's nice to be here in Kitzbühel. AJ Kitt has been here many, many times. I've seen his wife here and his mother here, and they certainly are having a good time, as am I. But the reason that all come here is because of the ski race. Let's take a look at some of the highlights, because this year it was something special. And now brace yourself as we review the highlights of this winter's World Cup ski races here in Kitzbühel. It's the Sprint Competition Update. This winter, because there has been such little snow in Europe, ski races have been canceled. 2 downhill events were held in Kitzbühel, even though the course was shortened because of too much snow earlier in the week. Luc Alphen from France won both events, but the second one, the famed Hahnenkamm, was the real prize. It was the first win by a French racer in Kitzbühel since Jean-Claude Killy in 1967, 28 years ago. Tommy Moe, the Olympic champion from Alaska, who now skis for Jackson Hole, Wyoming, turned in 2 solid runs in Kitzbühel, finishing 6th in the first and 8th in the second. Many of the racers found the tough downhill course living up to its name as the world's toughest. Chad Fleischer from Vail, Colorado, was headed for a top 4 finish, but got back on a bump just a few hundred yards from the finish line. He slightly injured his knee and will be off of skis for about 2 weeks. USST team member AJ Kitt looked good on the top, but went into the fencing farther down the mountain. But the gold medal fall of the day was turned in by Vitellini from Italy. Miraculously, none of the racers were seriously injured, and Vitellini went on to compete in the second downhill of the day and finished an amazing 5th. Then the shift was from the speed to the quick turns of slalom. And when you talk about slalom, all eyes turn to Alberto Tomba, the most colorful ski racer of all from Italy. With 5 straight slalom victories this winter, he has been on a roll. Thousands came to watch, and Tomba didn't disappoint. They say he might quit after this winter, but I'm not so sure. He loves to win, and everyone loves this great superstar. This competition update has been brought to you by Sprint, the official telecommunications sponsor of the USST team. When we come back, the best of a new, exciting world, a long way from the famed Kitzbühel World Cup ski races.
Go,
you don't
baby.
have to starve yourself.
Go,
you don't
baby.
have to
You better bring it in where you want to go. Just 4 short hours a day and you'll look like me.
If you want to be a star like me,
aren't you tired of all the hype and fitness fads? Well, turn off the hype and turn to a name you can trust, Nordic Track. Nordic Track isn't a fitness fad. It's the proven leader in home fitness for 19 years. And it's known as the world's best aerobic exerciser. Unlike other exercisers, Nordic Track gives you a total body workout that emphasizes all the major muscle groups. A more effective workout that raises your metabolism fast and burns more calories. In fact, after 5 years, 7 out of 10 people still use their Nordic Track regularly. So you make the choice: hype, hot air, empty promises, or Nordic Track.
February is American Heart Month, and there's no better time to start a fitness program. The American Heart Association and Nordic Track remind you that a fitness program is one of the best ways to help reduce your risks of heart disease.
Call today for your free video and brochure.
The best feuds never die. They just get uglier when colleges collide. ESPN2 presents Great College Rivalries, unadulterated inter-academic aggression dedicated to the most wicked grudge matches in college sports. Check out the Beanpot Hockey Tournament semifinals. Tomorrow, Northeastern meets Boston University at 6, and Boston College battles Harvard at 9. Great College Rivalries. Forgive, but never forget. Only on ESPN2.
Welcome back to Kitzbühel, Austria, and Toyota Ski World. I'm very pleased to be standing next to the 1964 Olympic downhill champion in Innsbruck, Austria, Egon Zimmerman. You now live in Lech. Egon, how you doing?
Fine, thank you. And it's very nice to be back in Kitzbühel, and especially for the Hahnenkamm race. You know how it is, and the Hahnenkamm race is something very special.
It is certainly something different. Now tell me, there wasn't any snow in Europe for many weeks, and all of a sudden, I heard you had 10 feet of snow in Lech.
But as you know, the big chief up there, Papa, is going to do it always in the right minute. It was just in the last minute, but it's fantastic, I think.
So the skiing's pretty good right now?
Very, very good. And we have a lot of snow in Lech too, I tell you.
Let me ask you, have you ever done any snowboarding?
I think I have so much problems with 2 skis, and so I'm not going to start anymore. But I think for the young people, it's a lot of fun when you're standing up there. And did you do that?
No, it's something to look forward to a little bit later. But you know, we have speaking of something to look forward to, what did I do to deserve this? This video coming up is called Getting Some by Fall Line Productions. I think you'll enjoy it. It's our Diet Coke skiing experience.
My name's Craig Kelly, 28 years old, and I'm from Glacier, Washington. I've been snowboarding since about 1981. That would make it 14 years this year. I guess to me, doing it just for the love of the sport and not really thinking about any other reasons to snowboard. That would be soul. As soon as you start describing your snowboarding trip as being new school or old school or being anything, I think describing snowboarding is almost wrong in itself. I just like doing it and getting away from any other aspect of it.
As we can see, there's all kinds of things to do in Kitzbühel and all kinds of things to eat. But also, a lot of little young guys. You hungry?
Yes.
Well, I guess he must be pretty hungry. And unfortunately for me, I don't speak German and he doesn't speak English. Sir, it's kind of busy here, isn't it?
Yeah, awfully busy.
You know, I have to ask you a question. Have you ever done any snowboarding?
Sorry, sir, but I have to work here all day and night, and it's difficult to snowboard when you work.
You know the ski jump in Innsbruck, the big 90-meter one, the big one? We have a woman, yeah, it is a big one. We have a woman there who jumped off of that on a snowboard, and she's going to give a little lesson. Her name is Shannon Dunn from Steamboat Springs, Colorado. Now, if you'd like to be a snowboarder, you might want to watch this because she'll take you right from the start.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry, but I can't look at those dangerous things.
Okay, Shannon, you take over.
Hi, my name is Shannon Dunn, and this is my friend Tina Bassich, and we're here at the Steamboat Ski Area to give you a few beginner snowboarding tips. So we'll see you on the slopes. Snowboarding is a great sport for all ages, and it's really easy to learn.
Make sure you have the right equipment, but most important, take a lesson because it will make your learning experience more enjoyable.
First, we're going to buckle into our bindings. You want to make sure to get them really nice and tight so that you have no heel lift. You might want to sit down, makes it a little bit easier to get your bindings on. After you're locked in, we're all set to go. Hi, we're at the top of the hill right now, and we're going to work on linking our toe side and heel side turns together.
Some things to remember, be aware of your edges and keep your weight centered over your board.
A really good helpful tip is to keep your knees nice and bent.
Another tip for you beginners is to not lean back and be intimidated by the speed. Keep your weight centered over your board and be aware of your edges.
Don't get discouraged when you first start snowboarding. You'll tend to fall, but just keep it up. It's a lot of fun once you get the hang of it. Sure is dumping up here at Steamboat, and we had a great time snowboarding with you.
Till next time,
we'll see you later.
It might be worthwhile to visit Steamboat Springs, Colorado for a lesson with Shannon, but I'm not so sure many of us would be ever ready for a lesson with this man. We'll see when we come back. Stay with us.
I'll tell you, Eddie, life begins when you sit at the big table. Tell me about it. And it's always the same. Diet Coke, fancy food. Diet Coke, fun. Diet Coke, women. Yeah. The world's their oyster and they don't even know it.
The next dance belongs to me, little man.
They know it, Bobby. Boy, do they know it.
Introducing the Toyota T100 Extra Cab. Its new 190 horsepower V6 actually outperforms V8s. It's big and spacious, yet amazingly maneuverable. And it's extremely rugged, yet incredibly refined. The new T100 Extra Cab. It's the Toyota of big trucks.
UConn's hope for a perfect season may be dashed, but the Huskies, Donnie Marshall and Ray Allen still have plans for the big dance. In their way, shot-blocking specialist Heine Peterson and the Pitt Panthers. Later, Bryant Reeves and Greg Ostertag will be the center of attention when Oklahoma State and Kansas tangle in Stillwater. Pittsburgh versus UConn, Kansas versus Oklahoma State. Bud Light presents Big Monday tomorrow, starting at 7:30, only on ESPN.
Welcome back to Toyota Ski World. Although motivated by the adrenaline rush of the extreme, he's one rebel who also listens to his parents. He's this week's Toyota skier.
I love skiing because my parents taught me the best things in life are what you can get out of life, personal enjoyment. And I think I've gone for it. I think that everybody out there should be open-minded and try to go for a fun life, because that's what it's all about. Adrenaline's definitely one of the things that motivates my lifestyle, a lot of my friends' lifestyles too. I'd say I'm an adrenaline addict. I like ice climbing, paragliding, mountain biking, skiing. Cliff jumping is just another part of skiing. I like skiing steep chutes. I like anything that has to do with adrenaline. Cruising over Cornice, and you get this feeling what the Japanese call a tori. It's being focused beyond the point where anything else matters. It's great, it's focus, focus, focus. You just see the light at the end of the tunnel, and even though you're over a cliff, and the rocks all around you, and snow's caressing around your shoulders, you don't think about the hazards. You just think about the adrenaline you're getting. It's incredible.
Well, we get to see a lot of great skiing in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, but we don't see equipment like this very often there, do we? These are the good old days. These are the good old days. And in Jackson, Wyoming, they have an event they call Pole, Pedal, and Paddle. Chuck Woodford reports.
Get ready. Get set. Go. And go. And go some more. Everybody hurry. There's no time to dawdle at the Jackson Hole Pole Pedal Paddle.
Oh, it's a great race. This is like a celebration of spring.
Sure, if you can look forward to 4.5 miles of downhill skiing, 7 kilometers of cross country, biking for 20 miles, then paddling for 9.
So much fun! It's so much fun!
7 months of winter can warp your sense of fun.
You're going in circles!
Still, the Pole Pedal Paddle gets plenty of local support and has for 20 years.
This event's been copied by other ski areas, but who can match the big vertical drop and the cross-country skiing, 20 miles of beautiful scenery on the road, and of course the Snake River. They can copy it, but they can't top it.
Fun? The Pole Pedal Paddle calls for hard training, keen strategy, and teamwork.
You put your team together, maybe at the bar the night before, you got a bike, you ski, you cross-country, the whole bit.
All of Jackson turns out to vie for these coveted awards.
And after it's all over, well, who won? And no one can remember, but who cares? It was just a lot of fun.
Well, everyone likes competition, but they can be different ones. When we come back, we'll return to the colorful resort at Kitzbühel, Austria. Stay with us.
About 65 miles south of the nearest stoplight, and 2 miles up in the Rocky Mountain sky, you'll find skier's heaven, also known as Telluride Ski Mountain, where the skiing's perfect and the views are even better. And whether you're going to extremes or just going for a lesson, don't go without your Visa card, because at Telluride Ski Mountain, they'll let you take the plunge, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
There's always tennis going on, and it's always worth tuning into, because you never know when you're going to see that, you know, that match that'll go down in the history books as one of the best matches.
The Davis Cup, today at 1:30 on ESPN.
Before we return to Bob Beattie and Kitzbühel, we'd like to bring you this Toyota Ski World update. All around the globe, weather is wreaking havoc at ski areas. Some resorts are getting no snow, others, believe it or not, are getting too much. Kitzbühel, for example, got about 4 feet of fresh powder just in time for the Hahnenkamm. Some European resorts were starved for snow at the beginning of the season, but recent storms have finally shed some light on skiing in Europe. In the eastern United States, unseasonably warm, dry days forced some ski resorts to close earlier this year. Most are up and running now, although some have as few as 20% of their trails open. The Midwest is doing better. Many ski areas are fully open. Conditions in the Rockies vary. Snowfall in Utah is breaking records this winter. In Colorado, snow's been falling steadily and conditions are consistently good. But not all areas have 100% of their trails open. The downpour that's been hammering the California coast is reaching inland to western ski resorts. Sometimes as snow, sometimes as rain. Most areas report excellent bases, so spring skiing in the west may prove exceptional this year. And now back to Bob Beattie, who's having lots of fun in Kitzbühel, Austria.
Don't worry, the snow didn't all melt in Kitzbühel, but the most famous and toughest downhill run in the world is a rough challenge even in the summer. And one thing is for certain, those downhill champions of the past will never challenge for a spot on the PGA Tour. Maybe the races have retired, but they couldn't resist one final competition in Kitzbühel. Franz Klammer, who thrilled the world with his gold medal in Innsbruck in 1976, got in trouble right out of the start. Not exactly the way he used to attack this downhill course on skis. Certainly you'd expect 1956 gold medal winner Tony Seiler to play well. He lives in Kitzbühel and plays golf every single day in the summer. On this day, he even determined the pin placements. Werner Grissmann has put on a few pounds and wasn't allowed to use a golf cart. But Tony Seiler played through. Swiss star Bernard Rusi won the gold medal in 1972 in Sapporo, Japan. But maybe his old Austrian competitors put too much pressure on him on this day. There were plenty of divots, and maybe the golf clubs will need some repair work, but look who replaced the old ski racing press.
Well, I think you'll have to agree. Kitzbühel hasn't changed a bit, has it? We've had a great time here at the Hahnenkamm. You know, I love coming here every single year because it is so much fun. It's not that complicated. It's a little complicated for the guys going down that mountain going 80 to 90 miles an hour. But for all the people who come here, what a great time they have. We'll see you next week, folks. Goodbye, everybody. Next week, we'll be in Cortina, Italy. Join us then, won't you?
But the dream is the thing, it's his anchor and wings, both his soul and the flame in his eyes. Oh, the wisdom is reaching far beyond what you see, and the triumph is seeking all the best you can be. So delight in the journey, the struggle it seems, while the spirit is learning that we rise with our dreams.
ESPN's Toyota Ski World has been brought to you by Toyota and their full line of quality cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Diet Coke, just for the taste of it.